Okay, good evening everyone, and welcome back once again to F1 Manager 2022, with 23 soon to be coming out, apparently. Good evening, Pete. Welcome. Good to see you, Ollies. Likewise. Welcome all. Welcome. So here we are, French Grand Prix, Circuit Paul. I'm sat here. This always happens when I start a stream. Something's not, either my glasses need cleaning, or I'm sat here thinking to myself, right, it's a bit warm. I've got both windows open. It's a bit muggy. It's rained. A couple of claps of thunder, but now it's sunny again. It's got that kind of muggy feel to it. And I'm sat here because I went out to do some shopping earlier to get my some more shorts for my holiday and a pair of trainers. Mission accomplished. Got all my shorts and my trainers for 80 quid. So I was quite happy with that. 4 pairs of shorts and a pair of trainers for 80 quid. I think that's not a bad deal. Adidas. Everything was Adidas. But anyway, so I had to put clothes on clearly to go shopping. Can't sit around in my dressing, well, not dressing gown in this weather, but my pyjamas. Go out to Sports Direct in my pyjamas. Although maybe one day, when I couldn't give a toss, maybe I will. Watch people's looks. Walking around with my pyjamas on and slippers. Like I've just got out of the asylum or something. But anyway, so I put the clothes on. And now I'm sat here thinking to myself, my legs are a bit warm. Could do with some shorts on. Because I'm sat here in skinny jeans. It's just not the ideal attire to be sat in a very warm room for the next 2 hours. And I was debating as I wheeled myself towards the pile of clothes on the bed, you can see, if there's any shorts there, but they're not. They're all getting washed for my holiday. Because I may have given you a strip tease, but instead I'll have to sit here and suffer in a pair of jeans for the foreseeable. Hello, Nikita. Hello, Joker Jake. Welcome. So there you go. I thought I'd share that with you, give you all nightmares of envisaging me having a striptease stream. Save that for another stream, a party stream maybe, who knows. Anyway, so, French Grand Prix, Circuit Paul Ricard. Let's take a look at the qualifying results, shall we? Lewis Hamilton on pole position. Rather unsurprisingly, Lando Norris in second position, because we did remember to put our correct car parts on for qualifying. So we were routinely about 0.3 of a second quicker than the opposition. The Ferrari's doing really well in this race compared to the Red Bulls for a change. Charles Leclerc up in third position. He's had a bad season. Could this be the race where he gets things back on track? I mean, title hopes are probably already dashed into the sewer, but in terms of overhauling the Red Bulls, the Ferrari's making a good go of it today, a track that clearly suits their car. Red Bull 5th and 6th there, and the Mercedes 7th and 8th, and the Alpines 9th and 10th. So we have 2 by 2 by 2 by 2 by 2. All nicely lined up in the probably in the exact order in terms of the car's overall performance. So we have the best car now overall. I would probably even agree at this point. We've put on a new underfloor in the last race. For this race, we have a new side pods installed and a new something else, suspension or chassis perhaps. We've put 2 more of our minor upgrades on today, which means that our top speed, which has always been our downfall, is now, I think it was 9th and 10th in the DRS and 10th and 12th in the acceleration and top speed non-DRS. So we are now slap bang in the middle of the pack when it comes to top speed. Combine that with our epic cornering ability, and that's why we've got a lethal car. So the more we plug that kind of top speed deficit, the more we're going to pull away. But we're designing, I think, 2 more parts. I think one more chassis, maybe 2 more chassis, and we're finishing off one other thing. And then I'm going to do no more upgrades for the rest of the season. And we're going to focus on research technically speaking, for next season's car, which of course we're not going to be able to experience because we're not playing, but we don't want to just completely stop everything, because in real life you won't do that, would you? Let's just stop developing because I'm retiring as the team principal. No, I would make sure that next season they have something to play with. So we'll do research instead, because the technical regulations changed, and that meant that every single part has taken a slight knock. Every part. So we're going to research at least once every single part. So that will keep our engineers busy. No more development of this season's car once we've finished what we are doing. And I don't think we'll need to. Last episode had a future Christmas comedy clip when Lando went off near the end. Oh dear. Well, thankfully, it doesn't cost us too dearly. After I just bigged him up and said he's never put a foot wrong. How's my day been? It's been a quiet Monday. I had things to do at work and then I didn't do them because it was too hot. So I've backlogged them to tomorrow, because I'm going into the office tomorrow, so I'll get air conditioning, so I won't be hot. I'm going to go into a quiet room, which is like a little private office area, where I'll just go in there at 7 o'clock sharp, bag the quiet room, put the temperature to 20 degrees Celsius precisely, turn the lights to full brightness so I can see, and then I'm going to sit in there for about 4 hours, and literally my fingers will be on fire as I type out notes that I have to type out, that I type out other things that I have to type out. I'm literally just going to bash it all out in 4 hours, and then I'll be happy. And then I've got 2 meetings. I'm hoping to finish about 3ish. And then I've got football tomorrow, which is in a league that I play on a Tuesday. And the team that we're playing is basically a team full of semi-professionals who play in this league every summer because the football season finishes, real-life football season finishes, and they think to themselves, what should we do? I know what we'll do. We'll kick around in a 5-a-side league for a little bit until the football season starts again in August. I make a mockery of everybody, really. I mean, to be fair, we do quite well against them, but we'll see what happens tomorrow. Yeah, as you can imagine, a team full of semi-professionals, going to be hot, it's going to be hard to breathe, it's going to be arduous, chasing them around. They're all in their 20s, young whippersnappers. I'm 40 now, and with the best will in the world, I can still keep up just about, but not for an entire 28 minutes. It's getting harder. It's getting harder. How are England doing in the Ashes? I don't know. Cham, enlighten us, because I haven't been following it. I don't watch cricket. I don't watch any sport nowadays. I got time. Got things to do. So there you go. There's your qualifying. So there's one thing that I wanted to check before I move on to the race, and that was this qualifying time compared to last qualifying time. So we qualified with a 1:30.493, fastest lap of the entire qualifying session, set by Lewis Hamilton. Last season, the pole position time was a 1:31.9. So this season's pole position time is a whole 1.5 seconds quicker. 1.5 seconds quicker, which in Formula 1 terms is a massive time scale. These cars are 1.5 seconds quicker on this track than last season when it comes to qualifying. Quite insane. Our fastest time last season, because we weren't the fastest car, of course, last season, was a 1:33.0. So our car is 2.5 seconds quicker on this circuit than it was last year. Just to put some perspective on the development of not just our car, but the development of the cars across the entire grid. Our cars are much quicker this season than they were last season. So that was quite interesting to have a look at that. I've been meaning to do that for a while, but I keep forgetting. But this afternoon, I was like, oh, yes, I must remember to check the qualifying times. I want to see the comparison. So that is the comparison as you've seen it England need 7 wickets to win. Australia need 180 odd runs. Final day tomorrow. So it looks like it's going to be an Australia victory then, unless they collapse. Didn't England get off to a really good start? I know I haven't watched it, but I think I stumbled into the score inadvertently, like on day 2 or something. England got the better start, I believe. Australia's best batters are out. Yeah, but they're only 3 down. They must have some decent batters in, positions 4, 5, maybe even 6, surely. Oh. So delightful to drink liquids in this weather. So I went out to get my shorts, and I went out to get my trainers, and our Sports Direct is right next to a Tesco. So I popped into Tesco because I thought, I need some deodorant because run out. I haven't run out. I've got some in there, but I like a certain type. So I'm going to take it on holiday with me. So I got a fresh canister of that. And then I thought, you know what? I've got 2 bottles of Kraken downstairs. I'll get a can of ginger beer, get some ice, and I'll stream this evening, because I mentioned it yesterday, and have a nice Kraken rum with maybe with a ginger beer in it, lots of ice, make it nice and tall, nice and refreshing, so you can drink it and quench your thirst a little bit. And then I had my dinner, so I've already had my dinner, so there's no breaks today. And then after I finished my dinner, I was like, can't be bothered. I can't usually drink after I've eaten, you see, so I'd rather have my dinner. And so that's what I did instead. Spared myself. Right, strategy. Let's get dived in. We can chat more as we start the race, because there'll be down periods, of course. The strategy here is very simple. It's going to be either this, which is a 126.07, 126.08. That's slower. So it's a age-old medium onto hard strategy. Oh, quelle surprise. Which have we seen this for a little while? Maybe the past couple of races we haven't seen this because of one reason or another. But yes, medium onto hard is the strategy. Should we need to use a soft tyre, we have a soft tyre spare with both drivers, safety cars, red flags, other such things. Yeah, that's all we need to remember. And we need to remember to put our drivers on push off the line, so that they can blast away from the opposition and do what Red Bull are doing in real life and pull about a 2-second gap in a lap. How about that? Yeah, let's do that. Okay, I think we're good to go. Did I remember to buy Plague Tale Requiem? No, I didn't actually. No. Because I'm a forgetful fool. So I must remember tonight to do it instead. Tell you, if I don't get this in the sale, I'm going to be mortified through my own negligence. Ah! Okay, it's just a fly. It's just a fly. Just saw it in the corner of my eye. Looked like it could have been a wasp. It's fine. It's not. Right. Let me put my little handy notepad here, which is a receipt. And I'll put myself a little note. Maybe I should get some sticky notes or something. Plague Tale. So I'm going to put that on my diary, which clearly is sat on my desk and I don't use it. I bought a diary because I thought this year I'm going to be very organised. Yes, it might as well be an ornament. Right, Plague Tale Requiem on sale now. Catch a copy if you want. I'll be catching mine this evening, if I remember. I should do, I've got a note now. Right, let's dive in. I really need shorts on.
Beautiful blue skies overhead as the drivers line up on the grid.
I'm going to put shorts on, folks. Off camera, clearly.
Lewis Hamilton. They're in P1. Let's see if they can take advantage of that position.
Of course we can, unless he spins off 4 times.
It's time for the French Grand Prix.
Let's run here at Paul Ricard. 5 lights. And we're off.
Away we go.
And racing. We'll ride on board with Lando Norris, who has lost a position to Charles Leclerc, but I have no doubt he'll get that position back very shortly. Okay, into the first corner. Back in the rhythm. Back on the power. I just drove round him like he wasn't there. Look at that. It's just drove right round him. Not a problem, Pat. You want to overtake me? I'll let you. Give myself a bit of excitement. Get away from me, you blasted pie. Bloody hell. Let's watch that again. 50%. Look how he just drove round. And off he went. Right, very good. So,
temps are climbing. Temps are now climbing.
temps are climbing.
Okay.
Let's turn things down here, folks. Let's turn things down here. No need for drama. No need for crashing into each other. Already pulling out of DRS range. So we'll go to neutral with both the cars and we'll let them race. That's what we do. So it was 2 by 2 by 2 by 2. So as the 2 McLarens streak off into the distance in their own personal battle, as per usual, we have the 2 Ferraris still in 3rd and 4th, as we were. So the first 4 remain unchanged. Verstappen still in P5, but Perez has lost a spot to Russell, and Daniel Ricciardo had a grid penalty, hence why he's down in 16th. Trying to make his way now through the field as we ride on board with Danny Ric for a short while as we head down the start-finish straight. Lando Norris quickest lap on the first one, and Daniel Ricciardo is up to P15. Temporarily, it seems, as Vesti has powered down and has the inside line for the first corner, but then Daniel Ricciardo has the inside line for the second. They're powering down now, but side by side they remain through all of these corners of this complex here, as Daniel Ricciardo trying his best to make this manoeuvre stick, and it's looking like he has just about got there in the end, made his way up to P50. Well done, Daniel. Well done indeed. Okay, Gasly bringing up the top 10. He's falling away from Ocon. Alonso in the last race looked pretty quick, pretty swift. Got a good race result in Canada, he did. Down in P8 at the moment, but he seems to be keeping pace with Perez. Don't forget, we don't have DRS at the moment, so he's keeping pace authentically here, if you will. And we're not pulling away massively from the Ferrari. The Ferrari's still 1.2 seconds behind. We're not streaking off into the sunset, which actually is good. We don't want to streak off too much. It would be nice to have a bit of competition, wouldn't it? But yeah, Charles Leclerc is keeping pace quite nicely. I mean, he's out of DRS range, but he's still within slipstream range, I would like to suggest. Keeping us honest, it means that we have to, be a bit wary of any mistakes, any incidents. We've got to be switched on. We'll see how much he can keep tabs on us for now. Verstappen is the surprise package. He's dropping away from the Ferraris at the moment. But then, if I recall correctly, the Red Bull wasn't quick here last season either, so just not suited to their car, this track, it seems. In fact, it was at this point last season that the Red Bull seemed to fall backwards from the Ferraris. Over the next several races, as Hamilton seems to have been overtaken by Norris. Oh no. Side by side, the 2 teammates are going here, and Potter looking through his fingers at the 2 drivers that are racing for position, as is their right to do so. No team orders here, as they are both battling for the title. All we ask is just don't trip over each other, please. It happened in the last race. Let's not have it happen again. Let's not have any embarrassment. Yeah, there's been some kind of change with Steam. Because when I load up a game now, I get a kind of a window that says, open Steam. I'm like, I don't want to open Steam, I just want to play the game. So I click on the game, a little box comes up, open Steam. I'm like, if you leave the box alone, the game will open. So Steam seems to have had an upgrade or an update recently. But anyway. And am I mildly interested in Final Fantasy 16? I really enjoyed Final Fantasy 15, so I'd probably check it out. I'd definitely check it out. I've played more than one Final Fantasy. It's a little bit of a different RPG experience compared to your Western RPGs, isn't it? But nonetheless, if they're done right, they are usually quite fun. Usually have good stories too, I find. But can get a bit repetitive and grindy, I used to find at times. Don't know if that's still the case, but no, I really enjoyed 15. I really enjoyed it, actually. So Lando Norris has managed to get Lewis Hamilton, but this will be the same old situation, won't it? It will be the DRS battle between the two until one of them makes a mistake, as is inevitable. When they're battling so close together on the ragged edge, mistakes, no matter how minor, will creep in. And that's all that one of these guys will need to capitalise. Hamilton makes a mistake, Norris will be there to pounce. Norris makes a mistake and Hamilton will mop up. It's just the way it is. I mean, the way that the Ferraris are just about trying to cling on to us. You argue that if both of us make a mistake, then we could be in trouble, as Sainz just rockets past Leclerc. Maybe if they are smart and use a bit of DRS to work together, they might be able to haul us in. They're keeping some decent pace. This is quite interesting to see. Quite interesting indeed. Yeah. And Russell has got past Max Verstappen. Would you question the audacity of this? How has this happened? Verstappen really struggling today if he's let a Mercedes drive past him. I will check it out in roughly 7 years. Oh my god. A really dark story. The story was kind of darkish last time. It wasn't that bad though. Wrath of the Righteous 70% off. Oh god, I was told about this before as well and I forgot about that as well. Oh my god, right, come on now. Come on now. Somebody please, if after this stream, somebody at me on Discord at like 10:30 this evening and say, have you bought them yet? I've got to buy both of those games. Wrath of the Righteous ain't gonna get it any cheaper. I know people told me about this before and I forgot, right? You ain't gonna get Wrath of the Righteous cheaper than 70% off. Even though I might not play it for another 2 years, because I've got to play Baldur's Gate 3 first. So that's gonna take me at least 6 months. And then after that I've got to play Harry Potter as well. So that's gonna take me at least 4 or 5 months. So we're looking at 2024 at least for Wrath of the Righteous, but still, I bought Pathfinder in a sale until I eventually played it. So, you know, just saying. So yeah, I've got to buy both of those games this evening, without fail. It's got to be done. It's got to be done. And then while I'm at it, I'll look in the Steam sale and see if there's anything else that I like the look of. Somebody's crashed or done something they shouldn't have done. As long as it's not our cars, I couldn't care less. Is it the Ferraris?
That sounds like someone's gone.
No, it's Magnussen. It's Magnussen. Looks like Max Verstappen is struggling to get past George Russell here. And George Russell is probably slowing Max down a little bit, it must be said, because he's 4 seconds behind those Ferraris. And those Ferraris, they are keeping pace. We're putting away from them at about maybe a couple of tenths of a second per lap. Compared to previous races that we've had, this is the closest it has been. Now, if the Ferraris could keep this pace up across all circuits, you'd be doing a lot better in the constructors, wouldn't you? But no, you're Ferrari. So you always cock things up. Whether it's your drivers, whether it's your flipping strategists, whether it's your pit crew, you can guarantee at some race, Ferrari will cock it up.
His fastest lap.
Fastest lap until Leclerc took it off us. Leclerc, fastest lap of the race. Would you credit that? How on earth did that happen? At 136.950, he's actually gone faster than both of us. Kudos, young Leclerc, who could have come to us. We were eyeing up Leclerc in the pre-season before we went with Hamilton because Leclerc didn't want to come to us. And he's a current world champion, of course, let's not forget. Current world champion. Not living up to his billing, of course, as a world champion this season. Very inconsistent, but nonetheless. No, he is the world champion. As our two drivers continue to battle away. The tyre strategies, let's have a look at that. We've got the top 5 on mediums, some on hards. Now, these hard runners could be going onto softs. They could be doing a hard soft run, or they could be doing a hard medium run. We don't know. But what you can be guaranteed, it is a one-stop race, without question. No chances of it being anything else other than that, barring any incidents. There's no rain forecast here today. Very dry, very warm. Nice 32 degrees. Track temperature, a toasty 49.7. One of the reasons why I don't wish to buy Wrath of the Righteous, although I will, is because I will install it, listen to the menu music, probably fall in love with it, then think to myself, oh, now that I've listened to the menu music, I might as well go into character creation. Go into character creation, then create a character, spend about 2 hours doing that, getting a feel for it all. Then I think, well, now that I've done that, I might as well just start the intro, and then before you know it, I've thrown my schedule into a disarray. Honestly, I'm not joking. When I get on holiday, I am going to do some... Because I'm going to have my... I mentioned this before. I'm going to have my phone with me. I am going to... Because I'm with Virgin, or was. It's been bought out by O2 now, so I'm with O2. They upped my data. So I've got 40 gig of data, which I was very pleased with, because I used to get 6 with Virgin. So for the same price, I'm now getting 40 gig of data. And because it's O2... you get free data roaming. You get free data roaming, you see. You get free data roaming. What was I saying? Yeah, you get free. So I'm going to be able to browse the internet and do things on my phone when we get into port, because it'll be free on as part of your data plan. You don't pay any extra for using the internet or for making calls in the EU. So that'll be cool. Although I've got to be very careful, because when we sail past Gibraltar, we actually sail through the coast of Morocco, which is not the EU. And if your phone's switched on and you're going past Morocco and you start using data or try to ring somebody, it'll cost a fortune. Because that happened to my mother in the last cruise. Her phone was in the safe, but not switched off. So when we were having dinner, and I saw on my phone, "Welcome to Morocco," I was like, "Mother, did you switch your phone off?" She went, "Why?" I said, "Because if you haven't, you're going to be charged extortionate amounts for data, because we're not in the EU anymore." She went, "Oh no, I think I've left it on," and she did. But thankfully, I'd put a spend. I don't know how, but I put a spend cap on her phone. So, barely put a wheel off the track. So basically, when she spends £2, £2 whole on data or premium phone lines or whatever by mistake, because it's always by mistake. As soon as it gets to the £2 limit, it'll cut her data off. So thankfully, it reached £2 and cut it off rather than spending 50. So yeah, there's a life lesson, folks, for yourself or for your parents. If you're going to foreign climes, put a spend limit on the phone, just for safety. reasons. But anyway, so yes, I'm going to basically use my data when I get to port to do some browsing on the internet. I'm taking a notepad with me and a pen and paper, and I'm going to seriously flesh out what my schedule is going to look like for the next 2 years. I'm going to also go further than I usually do, and I'm going to actually look at the games that are already out and the games that are coming out and planned to come out. There's probably at least 20 games on my list that I genuinely want to play. Genuinely want to play. At least 20. At least. So yes, 20 games is probably not even going to cover 2 years. It's probably going to cover 3. But I am I'm going to do my best to start looking at getting some semblance of order, some semblance of a feel for when games are coming out, so that I can kind of do some stuff. You know, there's just, I could list them all. There's at least 20. Let's go through them. RPGs wise, we've got Baldur's Gate 3. There's the Rogue Trader game coming out soon-ish, I think. You've got the likes of Starfield, which is going to be way down the line, but I'm probably going to want to check that out. You've got Wrath of the Righteous, of course. You've also got something like Wildermyth, which is more of an interactive thing, but still RPG based. Definitely want to play that. That's 6 before we've even started. That's 6 just off the top of it. Harry Potter, is that 7? No, was that 6, 7? Harry Potter. Yeah. That's your RPGs. Oh yeah, let's not forget vague RPG-ish. That game that was a car crash. Cyberpunk. The game was a car crash. Cyberpunk, yeah. Let's not also forget games that are coming out, such as, I don't know, the Metal Gear Solid 3 Snake Eater Remastered. You know, might want to play that. Definitely want to play that. Any of the other Metal Gears that might be remastered, remade, redone. Yeah, be playing them as well. That's at least now 12 games, probably. I know we've not even started the strategies. There's another season of CK2 to go. There's going to be at least something to do with CK3 in some guise, whether it's a mod or not. Then you've got all the Total Wars. 3 Kingdoms, obviously, starting next. But then you've got Medieval 1212. You've also got DEI for Rome 2. You've also got that combination of CK3 with Attila, where you play the strategy map on CK3 and the battle in Attila. That's a mod that looks really immense. Could be something that I want to try out in the future too. And let's not also forget Mount & Blade 2. That's also to play. So that covers the strategy games. Are we at 20 yet? And then you've got the sideshow kind of stuff. You know, your Plague Tale Requiems. You've got your Darkest Dungeon 2s. You know, games, sequels that I might want to play from games that I've played in the past. And on it goes, you know. Forza Motorsport, there'll be a side series of that at some point. That's coming out this year. Have I missed anything off? Do both at the same time. I could do. The trouble is, I'm also debating how many games I stream/LP at the same time. Given my current scheduling and my current availability, I think 2 is more reasonable, because if it's any more than 2, one game gets left for a long period of time without an update. Whereas with its 2, I can update at least both of them regularly and get through them a little bit quicker, keep the momentum up with them, rather than play one session of it and then next session's 10 days later, which is not great, is it? So, yeah, long hard think on holiday, I think, is required. I need to be more time savvy as well, I think. I've gotten a bit out of... I think it's the weather. It makes it far too tempting to do other things. I used to be very disciplined, and if I was streaming, or it was a stream day, I'd be like, right, no, nothing else will distract me. I'm streaming, I'm busy. Whereas now, somebody rings, are you free? And I'm like, well, it can be. Want to sit in the garden in the sun and have a drink? Yeah, go on then. 2 make sense. One of them is an LP or long-standing RPG, the other is a short game. Yeah, I have to check Darkest Dungeon 2 out in a little bit more detail, but they did seem to have changed certain bits of it. So we'll see. But it might be worth a go. I think there's still some elements that are very similar. Right, let's take a look at what's going on here. We are setting fastest laps. We have gained a little bit more time on our opposition. It's now 4 seconds, the gap. So we are pulling away as we expect, but it's not a massive rate of knots, but it's decent enough. This is a more significant gap. Russell is 8 seconds behind Carlos Sainz. So that is definitely a class difference there. And you've got to say that he's got to be slowing down Verstappen. Although Verstappen, to be fair, is on hard compound tyres. He is the highest runner on the slower tyre. So that's probably helping Russell stay ahead, and why Verstappen's looking a little bit more sluggish. He's on the harder compound. When we're on the hard compound at the end of the race, he'll be on the quicker compound, which wouldn't be too bad for him because the track will be more rubbered in, the fuel loads will be lighter, so his medium tyres will be better than ours, which have had to be run on heavy fuel loads whilst the track is a bit green, if you will. So he could be quite quick at the end of the race. And might even start to make some time on the Ferraris. But if he doesn't get past Russell quick, then the Ferraris could be out of sight at this rate. Okay, speak of the devil, he's going past. He's going past. He's going round into the first chicane, and he is past. Max Verstappen is ahead of Russell, but for how long? Because Russell will now have DRS on the Red Bull at some point in this lap, and I think it might be at this very next straight as we turn right, long right, quick jink to the left, pedal to the metal, DRS line there, DRS is open, as we can see from the rear wing, and the DRS doesn't seem to be as effective down this particular straight for a lot of cars, for some strange reason, but anyway. Okay, so it's still, yeah, I wouldn't imagine it being massively different. And I think a bit of, there's nothing wrong with a change. There's nothing wrong with a little bit of a tweak and a change. I think we could make it work, but I have to assess it, because the reason why I played the first version of the game was simply and purely because of the mechanics that allowed for a tabletop style kind of online session with all the viewers. Now, if we can't do that as effectively in this one, then I probably would call it quits and not do it, especially when I have a massive to-do list of games to play. It wouldn't feature quite so highly, especially if we can do something like Wildermyth instead for a bit of a kind of a tabletop co-op experience, for example. But anyway, so Russell will be keeping pace with Verstappen here, but will he get past with his DRS? Who knows? But he didn't get past there, did he? Didn't get past there, and we're back round to the same part of the track again. So I think Verstappen has managed to make this work. Still, he's falling behind the Ferraris, though. Further down the field, let's take a look. Any action to be had? Yeah, we've got a bit of action here. We've got Albon. Oh, we've got a bit of a DRS train here. Albon battling with Gasly here. Behind him, we've got Magnussen, Bottas, Vesti, Vettel in the old choo-choo train. And then we've got the 2 Williams and the 2 Aston Martins. Lance Stroll, bless his heart. Didn't you hear his dad come out with some right claptrap this week, or was it last week, when he basically said, by the end of this season, Lance Stroll will be as quick as Alonso. He's just had an injury that he's recovering from. I don't think so, buddy. No, pal. Why don't you just come out and say the honest truth? And you're not going to fire him because he's your son, even though he's probably costing you points in a car that's second best on the grid and finishing in P9 or wherever he finished. Why don't you just say it how it is, rather than making excuses for him? Because if Aston Martin do not finish second in the constructors, there is only one thing you can blame, and that is a poor second driver. A poor second driver. That's the only thing that will cost them second place in the title. Put somebody that's quick in that car alongside Alonso, and Mercedes won't get a look in, if you ask me. But anyway, we have a virtual safety car, so that's why I've paused it. And we are on lap. What lap are we on? 16. It's a bit early to come in. It's too early to come in. So
I think there's been contact on the track.
No.
Let's take a closer look. We're just watching the Red Bull.
Oh, it's Russell. Russell and Verstappen been battling. Oh, Russell. Oh.
Here's the hit, and it's crystal clear who was in the wrong there.
So, hellfire and brimstone. That's Russell going off the track, rejoining the track in a dangerous position, and wiping out Verstappen, who's probably going to be suffering
Careful with this tyre.
with damage to his car now.
Yeah, fine.
Has he got car damage? It doesn't look like it. His wings look to be intact. I mean, Russell is clearly going to be knackered. Yep, he's got a wing panel missing. I think Verstappen might be all right.
Let's have recharge on then, please.
Cool.
I'll be back on July the 7th, so I can get the back end of that summer sale. Just when I've spent a fortune on my cruise holiday, on drinks and trips and whatever else I decide to buy. Okay, Verstappen is coming in, so he must be suffering some kind of damage here. Let's see what they replace. No, just a change in tyres. Interesting.
BSC ending. BSC ending.
Right.
DRS has been enabled.
Let's put them on to normal at the same time, to be fair to them. There we go. So both back into neutrality.
And we'll push.
Yep.
I hate seeing them so close together, but that's how good Norris has become. He's learning from the master. Oh dear. Right, what about keeping the drinks tabs low to have more spending money on the sale? To be honest with you, if I was going with a friend, I'd be buying the drinks package, which is probably about 700 quid. And people gasp, what? How much? But if you're going on a holiday with your mates, you probably would drink more than 700 quid's worth of booze, especially when your drink costs about, a tenner for a double rum and coke at least. I could go through 7-8 of those in a night, easily. And that doesn't count for wine with your dinner, your specialty coffees in the morning. I love a good mocha in the morning. Your drinks package includes all of that. If you're lounging by the pool and think, ooh, fancy a nice cocktail. How about a daiquiri or something with ice in it, nice and slushy? Yeah? It all adds up. But when I go on my own with my mother, I don't drink as much. So I'll have my specialty coffee in the morning. I only have one coffee in the morning. So I'll have my mocha. In the daytime, for cold drinks, you can get cold drinks from the dining room. And then take them out with you, because they do like soft drinks in the dining room, like lemonade and stuff. It's fresh lemonade. You can just like get a couple of glasses, take them back to your room. So like at lunchtime, my mum will take a couple of these glasses of lemonade back to the fridge in the room. So we've got cold drinks in the bedroom if we need them. And you know, if I do want a soft drink in the daytime, I can always go to the bar and get one. I'm not that tight. And then I don't tend to drink alcohol in the day. I will have a glass of wine because this cruise line does a Moscato white wine. They used to do, I hope they still do it, which is really sweet. I love a sweet wine. Crisp cold. Just when I've come out of the sauna and steam room, I'll take my book, plot up at the wine bar, and have an ice cold Moscato wine, just one glass, whilst reading a chapter of my book. That is my daily routine. Every day, around about 4, half 4, without fail, you'll find me in the wine bar. So that's my little routine there. So I'll have a glass of wine then, and then I'll have 2 or 3 drinks before dinner, rum and coke clearly, and then I'll eat my dinner, 3-course, 4-course, 5-course extravaganza. And then after I've had my dinner, I can't drink anymore because I can't eat and then drink, so I can't drink anymore. So that'll be my daily intake of alcohol, which will probably be what? 1, 2, maybe 3, about 6 drinks. Which actually, when you think, if each of those drinks is about 8 to 10 quid, that's 48 quid a day. 700 quid. I'm there for 14 days. It's not. You don't have to drink that much to get your money's worth out of a package. And I'm always shafted with packages because you can buy, I think I mentioned it before, but you can buy these drinks packages, and they do a soft drinks only package as well, by the way. And if they have those vending machines that they used to have on these ships, where they give you a cup and you put it's like the ones in Five Guys. Those little vending machines in Five Guys, you put your cup on it and then you just press the screen and it vends your drink. If they still have that, and those machines have root beer in them, then I'll have to get a soft drinks package, because I'll be drinking that by the bucket load. Absolute bucket load. But yeah, it's cheaper to buy a drinks package before you get on the ship. You can go onto the app, the cruise planner, and you can book your spa treatments in advance. You can book your specialty restaurants in advance. I never do any of this because I'm not organised. Like, why do I want to worry about booking which restaurant and what day I want to go on when I'm not even there yet? I like to go with the flow. And you can book your drinks package before you get on. And the benefits of doing that is you don't pay the service charge that you have to pay if you buy it on the ship, and you don't have to pay, I think you have to pay the sales tax. So you end up with a drinks package that's about 200, 150 quid cheaper if you buy it in pounds on the Royal Caribbean website, rather than buying it in dollars on the ship, because the dollars situation, not good exchange rate at the moment. It works out to be about 150 quid cheaper. The issue is they force you to buy 2, because they say that you have to buy it for everybody in the cabin, so that you can't share the package between more than one person. The issue with that is my mother don't drink, because she's on morphine and can't. She can have one, but she can't drink a whole package worth, can she? So I have to go to buy the drinks package on the ship, armed with my mother's morphine prescription, to say I want to buy a drinks package just for me. I'm with my mother and she can't drink, so she can't have a package, and here is proof of her prescription and what she's taking and why she can't drink. And then the last time we did that, they went, oh, but you should have to buy a soft drinks package. So I kicked up a massive fuss, and then they said, oh fine, just buy your package then, which I did. And then, as you do, shared it with my mother. Just precisely why they don't let you do it. But hey, she doesn't drink that much. She drinks like 2 soft drinks a day and 1 alcoholic drink. I mean, for God's sake, it's a multi-million-pound company. So yes, so I have to buy the drinks package on the ship, which costs me extra money So there you go. So that's why I'm not going to be buying it this time around. But anyway. So we are coming up to our pit window, and whichever car is in the lead when it comes to the ideal strategy, that car will get the preferential treatment, which usually is to come in first. Now, we have had some people pit. So like Carlos Sainz, for example, has pit. Let's have a look at the pit icon. Yes, Carlos Sainz was one of the first cars to pit, actually. Verstappen's clearly pit and Russell's pit, but that's because of damage to the car and that little incident. So Sainz, first car to pit. Now this will give us an indication as to how powerful the undercut is, because he pitted before Leclerc, has had a bit of time on these tyres. Now if he comes out well ahead of Leclerc, the undercut will be quite powerful here. So this is the optimal lap for one of our guys, and Norris is currently in the lead. So we'll give Norris preferential treatment here. But let's just see where Sainz comes out. Now, I didn't see whether Sainz had been bogged down by traffic here. If he has been bogged down by traffic, this might not be an accurate picture. But I was anticipating the undercut being relatively powerful, but it doesn't look like it is. He's come out pretty much bang on. Ooh, hoo, hoo. Almost literally bang on. Almost banged into his teammate there. So, yeah, undercut, I would suggest negligible here. Quite negligible. What do you mean, you heard? Who told you such lies? Who told you these fibs? Okay, Hamilton is in first place. Oh, okay, let's see who is going to get preferential treatment here. It's too close to call. They're side by side going into the final sector. Hamilton is ahead. Hamilton's going to get preferential treatment. He's going to come in for a set of hards. Norris will have to go one more lap.
So, box.
We have you on tape. Not if I delete this stream, you won't. I know what you're talking about. I bought it ages ago. Did I? I don't know. No, I didn't. I didn't know. I didn't. If this stream finishes early, what do you reckon? Should I buy it, install it quickly, and do like a bit of a... What's happened to the pit stop? Were you not ready? Were you not ready? What's going on? We were too late, apparently. Okay. Yeah, I think if we because this is going to finish like in an hour. It'd be 9:30. I could buy it quickly, install it, and I could boot it up and do like a half an hour. Let's listen to the menu music together. Let's go into character creation. Let's have a play around, just for a laugh. Wet the whistle. I could even go downstairs and get a drink. Get me cracking and ginger beer. Now that I've had my dinner, I'm getting a bit of a thirst on. Maybe even dip our toe into the introduction. Maybe. No, because then I'm going to start playing it. This is a bad idea. This is what happened with Pathfinder. Kind of. I'd already set my mind on playing it, but as soon as I booted it up and like created my first character, and heard the music and read the lore and started looking at the lore, and I was like, okay, I'm playing this now. Well, there's no going back now. I'm already this far. Right, Lando, next lap. No. Three Kingdoms runs alongside. So, Three Kingdoms is the strategy game. Any RPGs that happen will happen alongside. Three Kingdoms is safe, don't worry. Three Kingdoms is safe. It's just what partners it. It's going to be Plague Tale first, but after Plague Tale is finished, what partners it? Is it a long-term game? It can't be. I've got to make room for Baldur's Gate 3. That's coming out in August. I can't afford to be playing anything that's too long before August the 31st. I just simply can't. And I usually like to wait for games to be patched a little bit before I play them, but given that it's been in alpha for so long, and alpha is the first act, I would imagine that the first act should be near perfect. So there's no need to wait, is there? So I can play it on day release, be excited like a little child, create my character, who you may well be familiar with, possibly, maybe. It will need to get patched and DLC. I know, but I have to make an exception to that one, an exception to the rule. And now Lando's in the pits. Let's have a look at Lando and see whether he will come out ahead of Hamilton. I doubt it. I think it's going to be negligible, the undercut here. Very negligible indeed. Verstappen is stuck behind cars that are yet to pit. No? Yeah. Which is bad news for him. Look at this mess of cars here. Ferraris all over the track. Alonso yet to pit. Perez yet to pit. Slowing down the Ferraris. Norris coming out. Well ahead of Hamilton. No, he's not. He's right. I thought Hamilton was up there. No, side by side. But Norris has come out ahead. Seems the undercut is not a thing at all on this circuit. No, Norris is out ahead, but they are still lying astern, 1 and 2, battling for the remainder of this race, unless they do something silly, like hit each other. But look at this, we've got a bit of a four-way shindig going on here. I almost feel like we should be part of this party. We're missing out. Look at this, Alonso, Perez, Leclerc and Sainz all jostling. I mean, these two, it's not really their race. They're not racing the Ferraris. They're only there because of the fact that they... Oh my God, this looks like it's a recipe for disaster. How can 4 cars make it into one chicane? They can't. Yeah. Leclerc has got out of that trouble. Sainz has yet to get through it. So this could be Leclerc's chance to put a gap to Sainz and get out of the DRS and get away from his teammate here. He already is pulling away from Alonso. He's on those fresher hard tyres. Alonso on the worn hard tyres. Will be coming out on mediums after he's done his pit stop. Likewise for Perez. But yeah, Carlos Sainz is now frustratingly hemmed up, held up behind these two cars as his teammate begins to streak away. He's jinking. He's trying every trick in the book. But Perez has DRS as well. But because he's got fresher tyres, he seems to have gotten a better drive off that final corner. And here we go into the first left of the chicane. Then the right. Will he be able to keep ahead? Yes, he does. Well done, sir. Now just Alonso to go. Let's ride on board with Sainz and see if he makes light work of that Alpine. Sorry. Albon a whole 7 seconds behind Perez. Verstappen still caught up in a trap. On these medium tyres, are they going to make it to the end? He put them on quite early. I'd say it's touch and go, but you never know. You never know. Why would I say that? Why would I say... What did I say? It's so hot in Germany. It's so hot here. It's cooler now, actually. I'm going to shut at least one of these windows in a minute. It's nice. If this country could be like this all year round, I'm telling you, the whole populace would be a much happier people. Us British folks would be much more smiley. Oh, hang on here. What's happened here? Who's done this? Oh, who's done this? Oh, Shelley. Shelley. I've just checked my emails. So, oh, thank you very much. Oh, just so that I don't forget. Oh, that's very kind of you. Right. seeing as you've been so kind as to gift it to me, I will definitely do a very quick half an hour sample stream after this one. I've got no excuse now, have I? We'll have a slight look into it. Thank you very much, sir. Thank you very much. Another 200 hours of my time just waiting to be passed. I'll have to plan that time wisely. Oh, I'll be LPing it. Not a damn chance. I'm not. Not a damn chance. It's just a question of when. Okay, so Carlos Sainz has now lost 3 seconds to his teammate trying to get past Perez and Alonso, so he's going to be pretty much screwed now because he was only keeping up with his teammate because of DRS, so unless he's genuinely quicker than Leclerc, he's going to probably not get within a sniff of him for the rest of this race. He might do though, so we won't be too presumptuous here. As Norris and Hamilton continue to battle away. Hooray indeed, hooray indeed. Right, so seeing as we are now, yeah, even after the pit stops, 28 laps into this race. And only 5 seconds is the gap. Just goes to show how quick the Ferraris are actually, when it comes to a track that suits their car. Because we are a quick car. We're the quickest car. We've made some huge leaps. Massive underfloor upgrades galore. And yet they can still keep relative pace. I'm quite impressed. This is the kind of pace that they showed in Miami. You know, when they were just so quick and we couldn't, no matter what strategy we tried, no matter what way we tried to do it, we just couldn't get past. We've got an incident. It looks like Vettel, or Vesti. Vettel. It's Vettel.
They've locked up and gone straight on.
Let's have a look at it.
Taking a look again, it involves Sebastian
Oh,
Vettel,
just completely.
but that could have been much worse.
Completely missed his braking zone, and that cost him a lot of positions.
Really disappointing.
That was very disappointing if you're a Vettel fan. Yeah, he's lost a few positions there. Oh dear. Excuse me. Buy the deal. Is the deal? Have they got DLCs out already with it? Did I have the DLCs in Pathfinder the first game? Did I have the DLCs for that? No, I didn't, did I? I played it without the DLCs. Got hiccups now. Oh dear. I'll have a look at the DLCs and see if they tickle me fancy. And I'll have a look at mods as well, because I did install a couple of mods in the last one. They were just quality of life mods, but they were handy mods, you know. But some of the stuff that what I modded in the first game, you've told me already, apparently is not a thing in the second game. You know, like the traps that just didn't vanish ever. Apparently that's changed, and a couple of other little things I think as well, which I modded for quality of life purposes. I think the second game addressed some of these issues. Yeah. So probably won't need anything. Just play the game as it was intended to be played. No mods, no DLCs, as I tend to play most games. I'm a vanilla kind of guy. When it comes to my gaming, at least. Yes. Insurance. Insurance. The likelihood of me finding anybody on a cruise is very slim. My nose is in a book most of the time. In fact, in the last cruise in 2019, when I was on a Royal Caribbean ship, which was the Symphony of the Seas, which at the time I was on it was the largest largest cruise ship in existence. It was a massive thing. Or in the toilet. Oh, okay, yeah. Slight rendezvous. That was the first and only time that's ever happened. But once you've got a taste for these things, I suppose. Anyway, yeah. Somebody saw me like second week into the holiday and said, "You're always reading." I'm like, oh, hello there. She went, yeah, every time I see you, you're always reading. I said, yes. What are you reading? Oh, at the time, I was reading Game of Thrones, the second Clash of Kings. Not Clash of Kings. What was the name of the second book? Game of Thrones. Clash of Kings, right? Clash of Kings. Yeah, is the second book in the series, wasn't it? I think it was. Anyway, I was reading Clash of Kings. And you've seen the size of the book, so it took me the entire cruise to read it. And I'm one of these people that I read in different spots. So I'll read in the wine bar most afternoons after the spa, and then on an evening I'll read in a variety of other places, different bars, different public areas, just so that because I like to people watch. I'll read, but I'm also people watching at the same time. You just have a bit of a gander around whilst you're sipping on a cup of tea or whatever you're drinking, and then you read a bit more, and then you'll have a bit more of a gander, listen to people's conversations, having a bit of a nosy. Oh, right, oh yeah, oh, lucky you, Sandra. Oh, very good. Carry on reading, and I just find it highly entertaining. And what I find most entertaining about even a holiday where you don't do a right lot, just read, chill out, relax, people watch, eat, drink, sleep, snore, usual stuff, it's just the fact that for 2 weeks there's just no work to worry about. You don't have to worry about getting up at the crack of dawn unless you want to watch the rising sun and take part in yoga, for example. There's no responsibilities. Nobody's going to ring me on Teams. Can you just help me out with this problem? Yeah, go on then. Yeah. Oh, can you just do this for me? Nobody to manage performance or, none of that nonsense. No football to go to. And as much as I enjoy playing football, it is nice to have a rest on the joints. It's just that. It's just the kind of no care, no worry kind of feeling, knowing that the only thing that you need to worry about is when we're going for lunch. We just had breakfast. Yeah, I know, but what time are we going for lunch? Just so I can plan the rest of my day. About 1:30. Yeah, about 1:30. Right, I'll see you at 1:30 then, because I'm off to read. In the family pool area today, and tomorrow I'm going to read by the rock climbing wall. Tomorrow, and then the day after that I might read in the ice skating rink, watching people fall over like fools. Yes. Okay, we've got lots of people pitting. This is the hard-tired runners pitting now for their medium tyres. Verstappen was up to P5, but I am concerned for Verstappen's medium tyres here. I don't think they're going to last the entire journey. The tyre wear on those is 62%. He will have to stop again. Sainz has gone wide. Trying to catch his teammate, no doubt, has put a bit of strain on him, and he's gone wide. He's now 3.7 behind his teammate, which it was about 3 seconds, so he's lost a bit of time there. Hamilton and Norris, however, still continue on 1 and 2. Leclerc 6.6 seconds behind, so he's dropping back, but not at an alarming rate, but still dropping back. Dropping back. Shooby-dooby-doo. Russell, 12th after his incident. Perez is in 10th. Now, is that Perez is in 10th bona fide 10th? No, there's still a couple of people to pit. Perez is shocking, isn't he? In real life at the moment, he's shocking as well. Max Verstappen is running rings around the entire grid, and Perez is ambling around. I'm sure it's a ploy. They said to Perez, drive really slowly, because we want the other cars to think that our car isn't so superior. Because they may penalise us. They may change the rules to hurt us. So you drive slowly, and then we can just claim it's Max Verstappen's genius that is doing this. You started Red Dead Redemption 2 for the first time. You've never played Red Dead Redemption 2? Oh my god. You're playing it on the PC? I really do need to boot that game back up on the PC now that my graphics card has got umpteen updates to it. Maybe the game has had some updates to it too, because remember I told you before when I played that game on the PC, it just continually froze. I've never tried it since, so we're talking probably 2 years now, so I would probably want to boot that up again. Not to play on the channel, although I did say I would do a couple of streams of the PC version in its 60 frame glory, you know, with the better graphics and all of that kind of stuff. And I still will do that if we do end up, if I get it to work, of course. So I might actually do that. I might actually try that again, because that is just it, Shelley. It's the attention to detail. It's mind-blowing, absolutely mind-blowing. When I played it on the PC for the brief time that I did, and when I got as far, I mean, I got relatively far. I got to the first town, did all the initial missions in the first town. So it's not as if it was crashing every 5 minutes, but you know what I'm like when it comes to replaying games. So when I have to replay something because it's crashed, oh, that grinds my gears. And when it happens more than once, I'm like, do you know what? I'm not playing this anymore. Forget it. Forget it. So yeah, I want to play it on the PC. I want to play it in its full splendour. I want to play it with a mod that increases the timescale, and I found one, and it worked a charm. I set the timescale to what I wanted it to be, so that I could drink in the scenery, I could take my photographs, I could drink my coffee at the campfire, I could play my dominoes, I could go out hunting, and do all of that. And oh, it's midday. What a lovely day I've had so far. Not a rush or anything. And it was working really well. Now, and people said, oh, it's maybe the mod that's causing the crashing. And it wasn't, because I played the game without the mod initially, and it still was doing it. So, yeah. So I'm really looking forward to just hopefully that will eventually working. And then I can sink hours into it. Literally hours. Because I was literally, when I was playing on the PC, I was playing it in a proper roleplay style. I was walking around, I was, you know, just everything. When it was time to go get some food for the camp, I was like, right, I'm off hunting. I'll be back this evening. And I just spent the entire time hunting animals, taking it back to the pot, and, you know, like you would do, you know, as a member of the camp, you know. It's just pitched up, you're going to go running around, let's get the supplies ready. And yeah, walking to the locations on my horse, just trippy-tropping away, not doing anything, not galloping there at the speed of light, just kind of taking in all of the sounds and sceneries. And then when I lost my horse, because I was playing a good kind of Arthur at the time, I was like, right, I'm not going to rob a horse. I've lost my horse. My camp is all the way over there. I'm in the town. The name of the town escapes me. What's the name of the first town? How am I going to get back? I'm going to have to walk. So then I walked the entire journey as it was getting nice. Valentine, that's it. As I was walking back from Valentine to the camp. You know, talking to people, waving to people on the way, as you can do. Listening to their conversations, because the people are going about their daily business as the game progresses. So it's alive. The game is, you know, it's alive with day-night cycles, people doing stuff. It was fantastic. And then it crashed. I'm like, no, I was enjoying myself.
That is fastest lap.
So yeah, enjoy, Shelley. I'm sure you'll have a blast with it. It's an absolutely fantastic game. And yeah, I'll have to get it booted up again soon and see if it still has the same crashing issue. Right, anyway, lap 36 of 53, Norris and Hamilton, still 1 and 2. So we're going to give this a bit of 2-speed action now, because why the hell not? We are not going to be seeing anything too adventurous, I hope, between now and the end of the race. It will all come down to the final 2 laps as to which of these 2 cars wins, as to who is ahead when it comes to the DRS zone. But Leclerc is 7.4 seconds behind, Sainz is 4.5 behind him, Verstappen is 20 behind them and probably has to pit again. Daniel Ricciardo, after suffering a penalty, a grid penalty, has made his way up to 6th position. And he's got tyres to last till the end of the race, so he's looking pretty spiffy. Good job from him, as Hamilton and Norris switch positions again. Perez, poor. Very poor. And Gasly needs to pit. 37 laps on those tyres and still hasn't pitted. At this point, Gasly is putting softs on. And he still hasn't pitted. Are we going to see a last-ditch soft tyre sprint from Gasly? By the time he comes out of the pits, he's going to be way down here anyway. Seems like a waste of time to me. But anyway, let's have a look. Get to the right timing screen and we shall watch our 2 boys driving around the place, switching positions every so often. I mean, we're saying here that 7.8 seconds, the Ferraris are looking pretty decent. Waxing lyrical about them. But let's not forget, we haven't expended any of our powers here. We could top up and push our engines, for example. We could push these tyres because we've got life in them. And we can also push the ERS for a couple of laps, and we could probably extend this gap from 8 seconds to about 12 just by using our tools. So, as much as the Ferraris are still pretty quick here, comparatively speaking, we're not pedal to the metal quite. And that is a real thing in F1, by the way. Not playing your hand. especially when you're in a car that's really, really quick. You don't want to be like dancing around the opposition, because as much as Mr. Stefano, whatever he's called, did say recently, I'm not going to change the rules to hamper the Red Bulls. They will. Because people get bored with teams dominating, and it's only been 2 seasons compared to Mercedes, several. So, you know. But it will happen. Red Bull will become the team that everybody hates. Max Verstappen will become the driver that everybody hates, if they don't already. It's just the nature of the sport, you know, nature of business. But yeah, when you've got a car that's really, really quick, you don't want to be taking the mick of your opposition, because they'll penalise you. Now we've got to slow them down, otherwise this sport's going to be dead. How are you 4 seconds a lap quicker? And what we'll do is we'll ban everything on your car next season. Yes, like they did to Mercedes several times over, you know? Mercedes had the best, they used to call it party mode, didn't they? Where they could basically they could change engine modes at will. So, you know, turn the engine up for qualifying 3 when they needed to, and then down everywhere else. And then in the race, if they did a bit of a burst of speed, let's turn the engine up a bit, and off they used to go. Until they decided to ban engine modes, because other cars didn't have as an effective engine mode. So why would we let a Mercedes continue to have it and benefit too much from it? So let's ban engine modes. We'll have one engine mode for the entire race weekend. That's what we'll do. Oh, and that is it. And that's no way a rule change to hamper Mercedes. No, of course not. It's all to do with sustainability of the engine. It's cost-saving measures. No, it's not, pal. It's not at all, is it? It's not at all. Oh, what's that fantastic, innovative system you have designed? Oh, the DAS system, the dual-axis steering system from 2020. So, stroke of genius. You know, using your steering wheel to alter the camber of the tyre so that you can get extra heat into your tyres at lower speeds just by pushing your steering wheel in. That was within the bounds of the rules for 2020. They found a little bit of a loophole in it and utilised it to full effect. That's technological genius, that. F1 is the pinnacle of technology. Pinnacle of technology. Why not allow it next season and just let the rest of the cars try to design it on their car? No, let's just ban it for next season. That's what we'll do. We can't have that nonsense going on. Why not? Claims to be the pinnacle of motorsport, the pinnacle of technology, and when people come up, this is not just Mercedes, by the way, but anybody that comes up with something that other teams don't have, that gives them a significant advantage, rather than embracing that, they ban it. Ban. Williams 92, active suspension, traction control. Car was a machine, dominant to the hilt. Yeah, let's ban it. Don't want any of that nonsense. Get rid of it. Get rid. That's what we want to do. Yes. Anyway, rant over. So Leeds have no manager. Leicester have confirmed there. Southampton will do later this month. Leeds are just basically doing a Leeds. Leave everything till last minute and then end up with their third choice. I think it's going to be that Farky. Clearly know my managers. The ex-Norwich manager, anyway. Mr. Fark. We're getting his director of football, I think, so I think it's a kind of a hand-in-hand deal. I think that's who's going to be coming. I've not followed very closely, but I think he was in the running and seems to be a good bet. I think he's got a couple of promotions out of the Championship to his name. Tried and tested manager at that level. I think we'll have some backing monetarily from the 49ers, so I think he will be supported. So I don't think it's a bad choice, personally. I don't know a lot about him, but looking at his statistics and history, Onyx, I think sometimes it's very easy to think you are a bigger club than you are, because Leeds is a decent sized club but haven't done anything for several years now, and I think maybe the old regime were under the impression at times that they could click their fingers and any manager will come running because it's Leeds, it was too big a job to turn down. Well, not really. We're a Championship side at the moment now, and we've been in the Championship 15, 16 years out of the past 19, sorry. So, I don't think managers are going to come running, as was demonstrated by Brendan Rodgers, who turned us down, apparently, to go back to Celtic in a two-team league. Seems like a bit of a backward step, if you ask me, but anyway. Who am I to criticise these football managers that go on massive merry-go-rounds? Anyway, Verstappen did indeed have to come in for more tyres. He's coming for a set of softs to take him to the end. I think that that stop for medium tyres may not have been a stop for damaged engine or wing or whatever. Well, engine, he would be retired, but damaged wing or floor or whatever. But I think because he went off and got spun off and kind of slid off the track, I think he probably knackered his old tyres, because in this game, if you do spin off or your tyres will suffer significant wear. So I think his tyres must have been ultra worn from his little excursion, and he had to change them. It's the only explanation for him coming in that early to put on a set of mediums at that time, which clearly weren't going to make it to the end. So I think his little jaunt off the track damaged his tyres. But now he's on a set of softs, which are the quickest tyre out there. So he's going to be very, very quick, but he'll get Russell. I don't think he's going to get anywhere near Ocon, though, who's a further 13 seconds up the road. Doobie-doo. Ooh. Looks like Russell has just shut the door. And, it's Russell and Verstappen. The two cars that were battling that caused the incident in the first place. So a bit of revenge is in order here, perhaps? I wonder if that ever crosses a driver's mind, you know. You knock me off, you little blighter. How about if I just give you a little love tap? How do you like that? Surely not at these speeds. It would be a very dangerous thing to do. But I didn't say do it, I just said, has it ever crossed a driver's mind, I wonder? Of course it has. Just look at Schumacher. He drove into people on purpose, more than once. Anyway, again, slight digression. At least I'm talking about Formula 1 though. So we've got 4 laps to go, and look at this. They are still battling with each other. No team orders here. And who is going to cross that line ahead? For the championship's sake, the fans are hoping it's Norris, I'm assuming. That would give him his 2nd win in a row. And further help with the... Okay, I'm kind of tempted. Verstappen's got fastest lap. Now, he is on fresh soft tyres. So even if we were to start to turn up our engine, turn up our tyre pushing, and give ourselves deployment for a lap or two to see if we can retake that fastest lap, I reckon we probably wouldn't be able to take it. We're on hard compound tyres that are well worn now, so even with our fast car, I think fastest lap is going to be out of reach. So we won't try anything silly. Don't want the drivers to be pushing too hard and then end up coming a cropper. It would be most egg on face, wouldn't it? So we've got Ocon battling with his own teammate, it looks like here. Ocon and Alonso, 2 teammates battling as well, just like the 2 Mercedes. Sainz indeed couldn't catch Leclerc and is
3 laps remaining.
falling away actually, so Leclerc clearly the faster Ferrari of the 2. Don't know if Perez is gaining on Ricciardo or not, but he won't get there in the amount of laps left. And yeah, these 2 are battling for 7th and 8th. Not quite as exciting as battling for 1st and 2nd, I suppose, but nonetheless, it's good to see 2 teammates getting it on. Of course, one of them has medium tyres and one of them has hards. So Alonso is on the mediums, which are same amount of wear. So Alonso should pretty much be quicker than his teammate here, just from the tyre situation. Verstappen is past Russell and is already 3.6 seconds ahead of him. He's got past him and he's gone. He is not hanging about here. Oh, who are England playing? I didn't even realise England were playing. Clearly a die-hard England fan. Yes, I am not. I watch them in the major tournaments and that's about it. I don't tend to watch international football. So Alonso has got past and is now going away from Ocon, as I would expect, given he's got the softer compound tyres on. Maybe Alonso had come from behind Ocon to pass him, rather than them battling for position. Seems more like a pass than a battle.
We've got 2 laps remaining.
Okay. 2 more teammates here. We've got the 2 Alpha Tauris, Albon and Vettel, battling for 12th and 13th. Not quite as dramatic. But here we go. We're coming up to the halfway point of the penultimate lap. Hamilton currently is in 1st position. Norris is in 2nd. Leclerc is the last of the podium runners. And these are the 2 cars that we will focus on now until the end of this race, to see who will grab it. We've got a back marker in the way. It is Tsunoda. Tsunoda best get himself out of the way, as we have 2 very fast cars coming through. We do not wish interference influencing the outcome of this race. So we're into the final sector. Twisty, turny, sweepy, bendy. Don't know what the corner names are, or the corner numbers for that matter. It's a twisty section. That's all we need to know. Lots of turns. Coming round now to start our final lap. And Hamilton, at this moment in time, has track position. But Lando Norris is behind. Has DRS. He's gaining fast.
1 lap remaining.
We ride on board with Norris for this entire lap to see whether or not he can make a pass on his teammate. He needs to win this race. He needs to keep that momentum going. He won the last one. Hamilton was making mistakes left, right and centre in Austria. Today, he's barely put a tyre wrong. But despite that, despite his years of experience and the fact that he's got 7 championships, he could not and cannot shake his younger British teammate from his tail. We drive round the Paul Ricard circuit for a final time, and Norris has got the speed down the straight here. Is this the decisive manoeuvre? He sweeps around. He sweeps around his teammate and has track position going into a section of the track where passing is nigh on impossible. That could be the decisive manoeuvre. Hamilton, very passive, not defending that very well at all. There's no way he's passing at this point of the track. It's looking likely now that Lando Norris is indeed going to make it 2 on the spin. Nipped the victory from his teammate on the final lap. As we come round, final corner after this one, there's no chance now. Norris has done it. He has pipped Hamilton to the post and takes his 2nd victory in a row. Another 1-2 for the team.
It's a checkered flag. You can keep pushing if you want to.
Boys and girls,
Good result for Norris.
Thank you.
Okay, mate. Excellent job.
And Leclerc bringing his car, bringing his Ferrari, a very, very well earned 3rd place. That Ferrari today was quick. Clearly, we have made it look slow, but it was quick. It was definitely the quickest that Ferrari has looked for quite some time. Either they brought upgrades or it's just a track that suits their car. Sainz in 4th. Ricciardo, a decent finish for the Mercedes, but look at the gap. 31 seconds to the Ferraris. A massive gulf in class between the top 3 teams, I'd say, and the rest. But Ricciardo bringing it home in 5th due to some other trials and tribulations to cars around him. Verstappen bringing it home, P9 after his incident with Russell, having to pit an extra time. And yeah, fastest lap of the race though, as a slight consolation, will have to suffice. Russell finishing in P10. Okay, so Lando Norris, 2 victories on the spin. This one, not courtesy of a mistake from Lewis, really. He didn't drive off the track 3 times this time. He was on the track for the entire time, and still Norris got there in the end. This title could well be still on, in terms of the driver's title, at least. So what does that look at the standings then? So Lewis Hamilton, 258 points. Norris, 214. The gap has come down to a mere 44 points. Less than 2 race victories now. So, you know, still a lot of work to do for Norris. If Hamilton just keeps getting P2s, you know, that's going to be 7 6s or 42. That's going to be 7 races worth. He's going to have to beat Hamilton 7 times on the spin, with Hamilton finishing 2nd, just to get 2 points ahead of him. Clearly not going to happen, but you never know. So all he can keep doing is winning, winning and winning, and just hope that Lewis Hamilton has an accident, or just has a pit stop that goes a bit wrong, or something happens. You wouldn't wish that, would you? But if you're battling for the title, well then you need something to happen at this kind of a gap. Verstappen in 3rd, 130 points behind Hamilton, which is good viewing. Charles Leclerc, 15 points, means that he's now only 2 points behind Max Verstappen. So last year's champion is now so close to taking best of the rest, which will be quite an achievement, to be honest. He's really taken a while to get into the swing this season. And is that going to put Ferrari ahead in the Constructors? Not quite, but now look at that. They have closed that gap down to 5 points. 5 points is now the gap. The last season's Constructors champions could well be usurping Red Bull's second spot very, very soon. So the Ferraris are looking like they are back in the game when it comes to second place, at least. Clearly aren't winning the Constructors title this season, are they? And a development point for Lando, which we will put into something to continue his development, as he's needing every little point to be able to push Hamilton to the limits. And next race is Hungary. I really like this circuit. I don't know what it is about Hungary. It's not the easiest of tracks to pass on, but I really like this circuit. It's one of my favourites. Weather centre is in poor condition. Let's refurbish it, shall we then? Thank you. Very good. Upcoming board review. We don't have to attend these board reviews anymore. I mean, the board clearly know where we stand when it comes to our performance, and that is top of the tree. High confidence, of course. Financial reports. We've got money in the bank. What more do we need to... We've got 24 million in the bank. Do we need to know anything further? I didn't think so. So Hungary is now in 2 days' time. It's a short gap between the race weekends. We shall sort the rest of this out in the next session. So we shall see what happens in Hungary. It's round 13 of 22. We're over halfway through this season, so we'll see what happens. Next session of this will be tomorrow. Possibly. I'm playing football actually at 6:30, so it's not going to be tomorrow because I won't have time. So tomorrow after football, what I'll do is I shall do a couple of private recordings and start to create a little bit of a backlog for my holidays now. I think I'll start focusing on that for the rest of this week. So this is the last stream of this live stream, at least. For now. So let's save this game. So what we're going to do now, and I'm going to put a stream up on YouTube and announce it so that people that might want to have a nosy that are not part of this stream might want to just pop in. So we'll set it for... I'm going to have to install the game, set it up on OBS and all that kind of jazz. I'm not going to pour myself a drink. I've decided... this hour I'm going to continue to be good. I'll just stick with my squash. So I'm thinking should we call it 9:30? We'll do 9:30 Wrath of the Righteous taster stream, poke around stream, whatever you want to call it. Just going to have a bit of a play around with Wrath of the Righteous for half an hour. Feel free to stop along if you want. It might end up being longer than half an hour. Just going to warn you if I get into it. Preview stream. There you go, preview. So, because, I've got to listen to the music, got to look at the character creation, got to at least start the game off to see the setting, to see the story. So yeah, I'll put a notice up on the Discord, Ollie. Thank you very much. I'm going to put the create it in YouTube now, and put the link in there too. So hopefully I shall see you all in 20 minutes, which will give me enough time to download it, install it, get things set up, and have a play around for a good old half an hour. Because 9:10 is no time to finish a stream, is it? Far too early. So yeah. Thanks for watching F1 Manager, folks, and hopefully see you in 20 minutes for a taste session of Wrath of the Righteous. See you very soon, hopefully.